Did you ever look across the classroom and notice a child standing at the edge of play? A child who seemed to be silently saying, "I really want to play with you. Please look at me. Let me play too." But they go right on playing, unaware, ignoring him. If you watched this child playing by himself, would you be concerned? He's focused and involved. Good play skills. He seems to enjoy all kinds of activities, and his cognitive and motor skills are growing. But what about his social development? Does he play with other children? Is he making friends? Or does he tend to be ignored when he tries to play with others? A child who is ignored may even make attempts to join play without any success. Being ignored is a play problem that causes a child to feel isolated. But identifying such a child isn't easy. Yet if she doesn't begin to play with others, she won't be able to make those critical gains in social development.
And I think that if we don't stay aware of the social development along with the academic growth, that children can't grow as much as they need to, and they won't feel comfortable. And that's a sad thing for a child, to always feel like you're just not quite there, that no one knows you're around.
Perhaps the richest and most complex aspect of a child's development is social development. Building relationships and having a sense of value within the group, learning to work with others, these are lifelong tasks. And learning how begins when children are very young.
In early childhood programs, we actually plan for social experiences to happen. They're not just random occurrences that in the course of learning conceptual and other kinds of skills, social skills don't just happen, they're planned for. And teachers facilitate children being able to move into a group, to be able to use greeting skills. Those sorts of skills are very important to build friendships and to be part of a group, to learn to be interdependent, not just dependent or not just independent, but to be interdependent and to be able to rely on others, to give to others and to receive from others. Even at the age of 4, if it's only saying, "I'll play the mommy," you need a mommy, I'll play the mommy. Children recognize that, whether or not you have something to bring to the group. And one of the things that young children need to know is that they can't just stand on the sidelines and look and people will automatically know that they have something to contribute. They have to be able to take the risk to say, "Look at me, I have something to contribute."
When we see children playing, we may not recognize the complex set of skills they already have and how they combine them to interact. Watch and see how many skills you can identify.
Okay, what would you two ladies like? The big popcorn. Okay, here you go. It's heavy. Okay, a little drink popcorn. There you go. And some drink. What drink? What you like? This Sprite or this Coke? Okay, Sprite it is. Here is Sprite. Thanks. I like it to drink too. What kind? No. That's lemonade. Yeah. No, that's Pepsi. Pepsi. Would you like some Pepsi? Sure. Okay, some Pepsi. Okay, now it's okay. It's hers.
Social play, with its give and take, conversation, and sharing of ideas and materials, is the framework for developing skills like these. For most children, this happens effortlessly, and every interaction throughout a child's day is another chance to gain skills and build social competence.
Many of the children that I work with directly through intervention are children who have communication delays or disorders, and they certainly have a lot of difficulty entering into and sustaining play with other children. But it's been interesting, the more time I've spent in preschool classrooms, the more I've observed that there are many children who have those same difficulties, but don't actually have a disability of any sort. They have the same difficulties entering into play. They have difficulty making themselves known to the group. They have difficulty choosing a role. And frequently they're simply ignored by their peers. They're not someone who is seen as a valuable contributing member of the group, so they simply are not considered at all.
It's important to make sure that all children have positive social play experiences so they can continue to grow and learn. And every child needs these kinds of opportunities to feel that they are valued members of the classroom community.
In my district, we really are working toward full inclusion from birth to age 21. And one of the things that we found is you can pull a child into the classroom and perhaps include that child in all of the academic kinds of things that go on, but when the child walks out of that classroom, he's still isolated and still ignored if the social skills and the friend and relationship building skills aren't there. So we put a real emphasis on the kinds of social and the language development activities that go along with that. Begin to build the skills that assist children into moving into friendships and friend kinds of relationships and move out of being isolated.
In this program, we'll look at some ways teachers can guide children towards successful social play experiences by helping them learn to enter play, to increase their communication skills, and to begin to feel more confident. A child who is being ignored by others usually doesn't know how to enter play. It takes a number of different skills to figure out how to join in when others are already actively involved. Some of the first skills children must learn are how to get another's attention and how to find a role in the play.
For a child to enter play that's moving along requires a tremendous number of skills. They have to figure out how to approach the group. Children who are capable will come over and smile at the group. They'll get down at eye level. They'll look at them. They'll say things like, "Oh, I see you have such and such." They will not enter so quickly that the group becomes anxious, and they just sort of blend in. They become part of the play. And it's so striking compared to a child who doesn't have those skills. I remember a little boy, Tommy, and he so wanted to join play, and he just didn't use words. He would stand at the edge. And I remember a time that he was watching Alan, who was building tall buildings in the block area, and was watching and watching and wasn't getting in there. And my solution was to say to him, "Why don't you ask him if you could play?"
Shall we tell them that you want to play? Using words will help you. Let's go tell them.
Alan.
Alan, listen.
Alan. That plays.
Listen to Tom, please.
That plays you, Alan.
Tom wants to play with you. He's saying, "Can I play with you?"
Yes.
Show him what to do. Show him what you want.
Do you think Alan really wants to let Tommy play? Was Susan's intervention helpful?
What I was really doing was using my authority to try to convince this child that this little friend would be a wonderful friend and they would have a good time. Well, he was, this little boy who was doing well was already having a good time. He didn't need another playmate. And the only reason he would allow the overlooked child in was to accommodate me because I was the authority figure. That doesn't help anybody. And you don't always recognize that the minute that you're doing it But when you take the longer picture and you stand back and say, now, that wasn't very helpful. What could I do to really help this child?
After Susan spent time observing Tommy, she could see more clearly how to help him enter play. First, she encouraged Tommy to play next to Alan. Then she modeled for Tommy how to add a play idea that could involve all of them.
Hey, Tom, what are you building over there?
The
airport.
This is my classroom over here. These two, the green one and the yellow one.
Do you know what, guys? Tommy made a big airport, but you know what? There's no road to get over to the airport so people can go out of town. Can we build a road to your airport?
That's the road.
Would that be okay? We need a long road coming from your place over to the airport. You help them build it, okay? We need big blocks.
I help him.
You're going to help him? Okay, show him where it can go, Tom. Right there? Oh, he wants it to line up there. Careful of your cupola there. Okay, you need to help him. You need to get up and get some more blocks and show them how to make the roads. You know, when you come out of the airport, there's many roads because some people go north and some people go south. So you need some roads to come this way and this way. Single car.
Susan showed Tommy how he could find ways to join Alan in play. She also continued to coach the boys, modeling how to add ideas and talk about the play.
And it was those kinds of linking up of kids and experiences that led Tommy to being much more of a player in the group, and other kids to see him as a player, that he had things to offer.
Whenever we can help children who tend to be ignored find a purpose or a role in the play, they're much more likely to be included by others.
One of the cues that I think is most helpful is to help them watch the play and figure out what's going on, and then think of some ways that they can help, or something that's needed, or a role they can take. And sometimes it means I give them the idea, but lots of times I can just make a suggestion or ask a question, and the child can take it from there.
Well, let's think of something that Heidi could do to help you with your wedding. How can Heidi and I help you?
Get cake.
That's a great idea. You need some cake?
Yeah.
Okay, let's make some cake, Heidi.
Each time we help a child find a role, we're showing her that she needs to think of ideas that will help her to be included in the play. Here, a child has come over to Nancy and is showing interest in the play. Watch how Nancy prompts the child who's already playing to include her classmate.
But can we think of something for Colleen to do? Give her a job. What could she do to help
We
us?
need popcorn too.
Okay, Colleen,
Wow.
Tiffany has a job for you.
And be with
Tell her what you
me.
want her to do.
I want you to do is eat the bread. Eat everything.
You want her to sit down and eat? Okay.
And
You
then
can sit down at the
eat.
table and Tiffany will feed you. What I can see is that we're not only helping that child who might be ignored to be included, but we're also building the skills of the child who's playing. The child who's playing might not realize that she can make the play more interesting if she finds a way to involve other children.
This child wants to play. See how the teacher helps her define a role in the play and gives her ideas to get involved.
Is she sick today?
Gaga.
Oh, this is the baby. Is this your baby?
No, my baby, because I'm the mom.
Oh, and who's this lady here? Is this an aunt?
No, it's a sister.
This is the sister.
The teenager.
The teenage
Sweet
sister.
baby. Sweet baby. See?
Teenage sister Teresa, do you think maybe this baby needs a blanket on her? She might need to be covered up.
She's not pretty the way she's small.
It is. We'll have to pretend.
No.
Many children will need me to help them become involved in play. They may need me to use some language to help them know how to enter the play. They may need me to help define a role that will be appropriate for the kind of play happening. They may need me to help them extend what they're doing so that other children will accept them in the play.
Many children need teachers to help them learn to enter play, so they can discover how to work with and enjoy their classmates. Soon these children begin to understand that they need to have something to contribute to play. With practice, they will develop the skills and confidence to do this on their own. Communication is the glue that holds social play together. To play, children need to be able to share ideas, comment, ask questions, and make plans. If children lack adequate communication skills, they can easily be ignored.
When you look at children who are really successful players and playmates in social settings, you see that they are also very good communicators. They have good language skills. They also have good skills that aren't directly related to language words and language form. They're able to enter into a conversation. They're able to continue a topic. They're able to take into consideration the other person in the conversation and take turns in their communication. They can also do much broader things. They can expand the play. They can add creatively, and then they broaden their repertoire.
One important communication skill which children have to learn is how to get another's attention before speaking. Otherwise, they can't begin a conversation.
I watched a little boy who stood and said, "Look it, look it, look it," to the general arena of children for at least 10 times before he was coached into identifying the child by name that he was trying to communicate with. Once he said, "Joey, look it," and Joey turned and looked, the rest of the communication went on very successfully.
Watch how Carrie cues these children to look at each other and models using their names.
Do you want to tell Holly that? Tell her that you gave her a bow. Sarah, tell Holly.
Holly, what? By that.
That, she said, look. Look, Holly.
Look at a bow.
Yeah, Sarah's saying I gave you a bow.
These children need the very direct support that Carrie provides. She's giving them practice acknowledging each other, talking together, and noticing important communication cues. Some children just need a reminder from time to time that they need to look at the person they're talking to.
Can you tell me again? I didn't hear you. Can you tell me again? You know what? If you look at me or anybody when you're talking, I can hear you better.
By gently prompting children to get a person's attention before they speak, we can help them understand how to be more effective communicators. Another way to support children is to help them give clear messages to one another. A child may not have adequate language, or may speak very softly, or may even be thinking the words and not realize that he hasn't said them.
Hi, do you want to come in here? Did you want to play with those boys? You know what? Sometimes when you want to play with your friends and you just look at them with your eyes, they don't know what you want. Because inside of here, you know what's happening? You're saying, "Hi guys, can I play with you?" But they can't hear your words, so they don't know.
It takes clear communication to sustain social play, and a child who is ignored often needs a teacher's help in making his play ideas and comments understood by others.
Children will frequently attempt to communicate, but they may not do it clearly and they may not do it completely, so the message isn't completely conveyed to those who are listening. A teacher can be extremely effective in acting as almost an interpreter for those children, to be able to convey their intent, to perhaps phrase what they began to say in more appropriate language, clearer language, and then making sure that that message is conveyed to the person that the child had intended.
Let's watch how teachers try to help children communicate clearly with one another.
Do you want Sarah to talk to your mom? Sarah Winnie. You want Sarah Winnie to talk to you?
My mom is.
Sarah Winnie is your mom?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Sarah Winnie, did you know that you're Sarah Kelsey's mom?
Yeah.
You're pretending to be her mom. She wants something to drink. Let's ask her what she wants to drink.
Yes.
Say what do you want to drink? You heard her. She said orange juice. She's going to get you some orange juice. I'll eat my French toast.
Milk.
She says, how about milk? Use your words and tell her. I don't want milk, she says. I don't want milk.
How about orange juice?
Did you hear her words?
How about
Say it again, Sarah, and look at her.
How about that milk?
How about that milk?
Nancy clarifies what the children are trying to say, interpreting and completing their ideas so each child can get her message across. Now watch how Chris helps one child tell another that she wants to play with him.
Alex, did you want to listen to it again? You really liked it. You know, I think Ashley would really like to talk to you. Ashley, was there something you wanted to ask him? Why don't you ask him?
Allison, huh? Did you want to be with me? Huh? Be with me.
She wants you to come play with her. She says, be with me. Where do you want to be?
Here.
Where do you want to be?
I want him to be camping with me.
Oh, she wants you to be camping with you.
What?
She wants you to go camping.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, you know, you did a nice job of telling him that. He really understood what you wanted. I think that giving a stronger voice to the child that is ignored is one of the best things as a teacher I can do. When I stand there and fill in the missing words and help that child be better understood, I'm giving that child a voice. I'm giving that child a chance to be heard. And that's a wonderful opportunity to model the correct language to use, but even more important, it's giving that child a chance to be heard, and as that child is heard, that feeling of being connected with other children is wonderful.
By supporting communication for children who tend to be ignored, teachers provide a bridge into social play, helping children discover more about how to play with others and how to use language too. Many children who are ignored need help gaining the confidence to begin to play with others. And feeling confident begins with having play ideas and being able to contribute to play.
Children who haven't had a lot of experience with play sometimes are lacking what I call play sequences or play scenarios. The child that helped me see this was a little girl who came to our preschool when she was 4. And her parents' concern was that she learned to play with others. So we were very aware to get her involved with the other children in their play, and we encouraged the other children to include her. But you know, it just wasn't very successful. I don't know how many times I'd say, you need to find something to do, or I'd get her set up in the housekeeping area, and pretty soon she'd be standing there, and the kids would kind of play around her. And what I realized was that she really didn't know what to do. So I began to take a few minutes each day to teach her some of those play sequences. And we'd go in the housekeeping area and we'd find some babies and we'd feed the babies. And then I might say, gee, I think my baby's kind of tired. So we'd put the babies to bed. Then we might decide to have a little snack together. And sometimes we'd get another child to play along with us. And pretty soon that little girl would head over to the housekeeping area, and you'd see her using all those little play sequences, and she'd add ideas from other children, and she'd get a few ideas of her own. A child with ideas and an understanding of the play has so much to contribute to peers and is much more likely to be welcomed into their play.
Another way to help instill confidence in children who may be ignored is to recognize their abilities and acknowledge them.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Sonora, great job. Let's give her a clap. And did you notice that she went slow enough so that she didn't get mixed up? And you know what else? I could really hear her. I didn't get mixed up inside my head at all. Nice job.
Commenting on a child's ideas helps him see all the things he can do and sends the message to his classmates, too.
Daniel's taking your idea. He likes your idea.
He wants to make what I want.
He's making his stand up, too. He put two together. Oh, he put one inside the bottle cap. That's an interesting idea. Did you know that when somebody copies you, that means they like your idea? It means you have a good idea.
I don't think it's just one thing that a teacher does to help the overlooked child. It's lots of little things. It's the way that you look at the child, that you're glad to see them, that you greet them, that you convey to everyone in the classroom, this is a fun kid, this is a kid who has ideas, this is someone I enjoy being with. So it's those very simple, staying constantly there with that child in terms of remembering them, talking with them, taking delight, laughing when they tell you a joke. That intrigues other children. When they bring something to share, be willing to stop and really let them share. Tommy one day brought a bag of chestnuts. He was getting ready to move, and at his new house, he had collected all of the chestnuts. And he kind of quietly came in and showed me the bag, and he said, I want to give one to everybody. I said, you're going to give one to everybody? And asked him, how would you like to do that? And he said, I want to give them out at group time. Well, for me, this was a tremendous breakthrough. He had never talked to the group before. So at group time, I looked at him, I said, is this the time? And he came and stood beside me. One of the things I really wanted to have happen is I wanted him to look at children and children to look at him. And I wanted to make sure he knew everyone's name, because often these sort of quiet kids don't take that piece of information in.
Do you know some of the kids' names? Do you know her?
I know her.
Well, call her.
And one scarf.
Chestnut?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and trade. Okay, you pack up to go home now, Annie. Take your chestnut. That's Benjamin.
Benjamin won chestnut.
Okay, give it to him. This girl is Krista.
Krista won chestnut.
This boy is Stephen G.
Stephen G won chestnut.
Would you bring us your scarf, Stephen?
Thank you.
Nice manners.
You're welcome.
It took no time for me to offer that, but what a step for Tommy to be able to reach out to other children, and for other children to all compare their chestnuts and say, Mommy, Daddy, as they met their parents, Tommy gave me this chestnut today.
We've seen that children who learn to play with others will slowly and naturally build the social skills they need to make friends, enjoy others, and develop a sense of their own value in the classroom community. But a child who is ignored is shut out of social play. These children may need many different kinds of support, and we've looked at several ways teachers can help.
Sometimes you'll see children standing back and watching play, and it looks like they want to get involved, but they just don't know how. It really takes a lot of experience to get the social skills and the confidence to be successful. And I know that for a lot of teachers it can be one more thing that you have to think about, that child who's on the outside of play. But those few minutes that we take, that we invest, are really worth it when you see the child being successful.
Spencer.
Spencer won chestnut.